Yeah, I just
You're not
clicked it, I
sharing
think.
chat.
I just clicked it. I must be live to operate.
Santa, 20-day streak called Chug Jug? No, I don't
Wait,
think
I
it
need to
should
see
call
the
for a Chug Jug to
graphics for this game.
celebrate.
Unlimited. Motion blur. Hey, sorry about welcome in. All right, I'm playing the game.
Mods, ban this guy!
I'm
Mods!
banning this guy.
Ban this guy!
Why can't I ban him in my own strat? There you go.
Thank you, Chiro. It's like,
I didn't read that. There was a tutorial on the right, but it's gone now. Oh. Oh! Nito, congrats on getting first. Or today's Alpha Mousey. How you doing? But is there a map button? Ow. Yes, how do I prone?
I think I changed the keybind to C?
C is the
Actually,
crouch.
oh, to what?
Why stream so late? What do you mean it's only 3:50? That's the C is the crouch. Oh, I see a giant.
I've come for your pickle.
They don't know.
Ask what? How do you do what?
To prone on the ground.
You can't go prone. You can only crouch.
What? That's okay.
You can't rat. I know you're a rat, but you can't no ratting around.
I have to rat. I added some redeems back, but I actually forgot to turn on the aim to spin.
I'm ready to go. Ooh,
I'm speed running the tutorial.
Speed run. Oh my god. Why are you so slow? Oh my god.
Just play Wordle on stream or something.
Wordle. Bro, y'all gonna see my amazing Wordle talents.
I am hurt. I'm dead. Alright, I beat the tutorial.
No, I don't think you did.
I did it, I won. I got shot and died.
Chug Jug, thank you for the Chug Jug.
Must be pretty scat girl. Yes,
Okay,
Dragon
let's
D
start,
Snatcher.
guys.
Irie, welcome in. How you doing?
Oh,
Happy Monday. Are you ready for Taco Tuesday? They looted all my stuff. I have nothing.
Okay.
You're dead. How are you? I am also
Place.
not dead.
Place. There you go. Oh, oh,
Okay.
oh my god.
Okay, want a taco? Me too.
Claps.
Except I may want also a quesadilla.
Clap. Clamp. Clamp.
What kind of tacos do you want?
Clamp. Yeah! Oh my god, that was a goated Wordle, guys. That was goated.
What's a shield? I don't use shields. I got the rattler. What just fell?
What other can we do, guys? What
Context though?
Connections. Let's do connections.
Oh, chicken burrito? Ooh,
So we got
that sounds good.
off-limits taboo.
Do the bots drop loot? Oh, never mind. I figured out the answer. Wait, what's my quick use button? So that's how do I throw grenades? So unless it's gone.
He hates us. Can't believe this.
Yeah. How am I supposed to know how to throw my grenades now?
Probably ready.
I'm still in the tutorial.
God damn it, Jade.
Have you eaten today, Irie? You didn't tell me there was a tutorial.
You know
I'm
what's
at the
funny?
extract
You
thing.
asked me how to. You asked me how to throw grenades, and somehow that wiped the like. I know how to do it, but you wiped the like knowledge from my head when you asked.
Yeah, I
You have to
do
open
that
like your quick wheel.
sometimes. Yeah, someone's been here. Oh, I see. Throw. Okay, I figured it out. I'm basically pro at the game now. I know how to play. What was that? Alright, I'm extracting. You can't see me. I did it. You had salmon and spinach with flaky dough. Very good. Ooh. Sounds really good. I had...
Hey, you are on camera.
I don't remember what I had.
Has been out of commission.
Security to the slingshot in Sector G. We have a possible intruder in the tubes. Repeat,
Did I have?
possible intruder.
When the elevator stops, exit with your hands raised. I cannot let you in until
I
you
finished
show
the
your
tutorial?
face. How'd you make it here by yourself? Who are you?
I'm ready.
Oh, winning.
None of these look like me. Still trying to remember what I had. Goggles. Oh,
You just find a pair of swim goggles.
no. I'm customizing my outfit. I'm ready.
Oh.
I think I just had some eggs and corn for breakfast and lunch.
That bed down here in Speranza sure beats sleeping outside, but it's
Okay.
getting...
I'm in Esperanza.
Okay, I'm ready. I did my connection.
I can't hear Celeste.
Can't hear you.
The game is very loud.
Oh. Well, that's not my problem.
Get over here, invite to Esperanza.
Croissant.
Oh my god, you're talking in the game.
Oh yeah, that's true. I have open mic. Hello.
How are you
get
louder
ready.
in the game than in the Discord?
It's cause yesterday I played last night and and we only chatted with in game with Maka and Infamous Bug
Hey, Raider.
on my
Hey, Raider.
Discord.
Can you hear me? Hey, Raider. Hey, Raider. Hey, Raider.
How do I talk in
Hey,
game?
Raider. Hey, Raider. Can you hear me all right? Let's go.
Keybine,
I think
Zed.
Z is your
Zed?
party, and then B is your team.
Oh, do you guys hear me now?
Oh my
Wait,
god!
are you
put
a woman?
Put the Raider
Hello.
voice, AI voice.
What?
Ooh, gamer girl.
What are you talking about? It's me. Hey, Zionic, welcome in. Yes, I am getting in. Are you ready? Do you have Arc Raiders?
Yeah, you sure you want to use the AI voice? I can do that too, bitch.
Why do you sound
Yo,
so
we using
bad?
AI voices?
You sound so bad with the AI
I have
voice.
no clue what I sound like, but hopefully it's pretty good.
Ulu, what's this?
What's this voice? Hello? Hey, Sakura! Sakura, get in. Alright, are you ready? Do I
Yep,
just click
I'm
play?
ready. At the top, select free loadout.
Wait, hold on, let me change my voice back first. Where's the menu?
So, when you press play, at the top you have the option to create your own loadout. Wait, I want the beekeeper set too. My god, I want it so badly.
I don't know what to tell you. You gotta get your drip up.
Yeah, I click
God,
what?
change
Workshop?
up that voice.
Oh, I'm still
To
talking.
play, so you click play,
Play?
and then at the top there's free loadout, and you read it up with the free loadout.
At the top, what?
At the very top of the screen, there are little categories: manage loadout,
How do you get to
custom
loadout?
free loadout. Well, you press play on the main. Give me party leader.
I got it, I'm here with the free loadout. Alright, what am I doing with free loadout?
You just ready up. You clicked on free loadout.
Oh,
we're
but I got so much stuff.
Well, if you want to use your stuff and potentially lose it, sure. But I used it.
Yeah,
free loadout at the
I'm
beginning.
gonna bring my legendary gun in there.
No.
Oh.
Oh my god, guys, are you ready to do this?
Yeah, we're ready. This game I've never heard. Sakura, everybody's been like playing this game. What you mean you haven't heard of it? Yeah, I reset you're a Valley Girl, Wiser. Dancing meeting you here. Interesting.
Hi, Tigger. Welcome in.
Yes, it was all Sionic's plan. I have a quest to pick up the pieces. I didn't read it. I just accepted it. Yeah,
You'll
look at
have
this
to
for
find all the
cowboys.
pieces of a 2,500 repeating puzzle all over the map, Jane. That's your first task.
Yeah, we gotta find all the pieces so we can get a cowboy hat for Celeste.
There we go. I think it should be better now.
There we go. Now we can hear you. Perfect.
Yeah.
You've never heard of it? Sakura, where have you been?
For a collab I was in, they said I was loud, so I lowered my mic.
But
Oh,
that's
I got
good
the
to be
Pharaoh.
done.
Sick.
What? How'd you already spawn? Oh, Havoc, thank you for the daily cheese. How you doing?
Hello, Havoc. Let's go to the day.
I'm just following you. I'm following. Thank you for the box, Sakura. Sorry, you have 0 cheese. It got
Speaking of the
eaten.
bush Wookiees.
I ate all the cheese.
Oh, there's a probe. Careful.
I forgot to restock my ammo. I'm
What do you want me
low
to
on
do?
bullets.
Do you want me to shoot it too?
Yeah.
I can't see it through the bushes. Havoc, how are you? Are you busy tonight?
It's about to cry. It did not cry.
Havoc. Refund your points. Why is that turned on? We will not have that option.
Wait, what turned on?
There was a ban in-game move, and she said not to move.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't. There's not even a timer for that. You just banned me for the whole game.
Oh, run! Actually, run. There's a
what is
rocket
it?
here.
Oh, I see a big rocket man. Do you run faster with? You like run faster with a melee or something?
If
how do
you
I
untarget
How do I
H,
unequip?
hold H.
Okay, thank you. Havoc, are you busy later? Do you wanna trials and outlast them? Oh shoot!
It's right above me.
Can it see me in the bushes? I'm hiding. We can stream
Oh, did I miss
trials.
that?
Yeah. So after we arc raid, we can go straight to trials. I'm not sure how long we'll be raiding though. I am getting destroyed by the missile guy. I'm gonna die. I just keep sliding. Ow.
Why the fuck did you close the door?
Get him.
You got him. I got a deflatable. I didn't see what I got.
Soccer ball.
I did. Sakura, thank you for the alert.
Oh, Blue Gate Village key. Nice.
I have a defit.
There you go, Jan. Take that.
What is it? It's
A
some
dog
health.
collar. You're
Thank
probably
you.
gonna need it for an upgrade later on, so.
Okay. Now where are we going?
The Rocketeer's right outside, so I would
Just
try to
chilling?
wait just a bit. Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll have to do this now. Have to
Don't shoot.
Oh. I thought that did more. Where's the exit thing? How do we... How do we figure out where the exit is? Move faster wall. Okay. I still need some HP. Why is it reload, by the way?
Yeah, I was changing my settings. I didn't notice
What is
that.
that? What
It's
is that?
fine.
Is that a bot?
By the way, Jan, the batteries you get from the arcs you can use to recharge your shields.
Okay. I don't know what any of that means.
You'll find arc power cells, and you can use them to recharge your shields.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Well, I mean, I have full shields. I need actual HP. How do I craft?
I can heal you.
There's a craft here. I found one of the arc power cell.
Bionic Playmo 1997 sent
you can't
breaking
craft one
news.
with your
Janjo got in. More at 5.
I believe there's an add-on you can to do that, but not using the workshops, no.
Thank you, Soyonic. I killed 2 spiders.
What ammo are you using your?
The light?
I have some light ammo.
I would appreciate it. Thank you so much.
What the hell? I was wondering who was speaking for a second.
There's no live stream thing? Is that somebody or is that you guys?
Where?
Yeah, we're friendly. Hi, sup?
Howdy. Am I speaking in the game?
Trying to get what?
We're trying to get out because we're trying to hit the lift down there.
Oh.
We just want to see
Sure.
if you guys were friendly before we called it.
Nah, go ahead.
No, you're good. I don't even know what that means. Good luck to
They're
your
trying to
plan.
escape.
I'm gonna close the door. Never mind. Hello?
Uh-oh, there's another team shooting.
Yeah, that's a different team.
Fuck them up.
Why is you not talking?
No, I'm just very scared right now.
He's locked in.
They're there on the stairs.
Someone just stole something over there from the north.
Yeah, there's somebody down the hallway in front and on the left, I believe.
This guy right here is next. He's
Okay, good. I don't want to accidentally shoot somebody.
Fucking
Are you good
cat
on
bed?
healing, Jam? Let's see, where you at?
I just got thrown a grenade. I got a ducky.
we flank them? Like, does this room beside us connect?
I don't have any more healing.
One of them's down.
One of them's down? Oh.
Yeah, did they die? Was there more
There's
than
two
one?
down.
Is there anybody
Or
this?
There were two down in here.
Oh, that's all.
No,
of them,
that's
I
all of
think.
Fuck.
One's over here.
Hey. I'm with them. I'm with them. I'm part of their team.
What?
I'm not with the.
You should have said something. That's he's with us.
He's
He's with
one
us.
of us. He's one of us.
You didn't say that you were flanking.
I figured you'd understand.
Yeah, but I was about to say if we don't have HUDs, you're gonna say that hey, I'm the one flanking.
You should have felt the aura.
Awesome.
I don't know what's good. Y'all can have whatever.
Awesome.
Okay, there's 4 shield recharges right here. I didn't need them all.
I'll take one. Thank you.
There's land ammo.
Havoc, I can't have that.
Your...
Havoc, redeem yourself. Yeah, thanks, guys. How can you be out of cheese? What happened?
I would have to think of that. Nah, I'm
Alright,
friendly
where we go?
sometimes. What do you mean?
There have been multiple streams where I've just seen you light people up. Not to like call you out, but
Yeah,
I like sometimes some people, but they were friendly. You know, they were. We'll be nice.
Can't
We'll
carry
be
any of
nice.
these.
What about what? Oh. Right there. I
don't know what
think
that
I might,
is.
yeah, actually.
I'm just here for the ride.
much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Oh.
No cheese to collect. What happened?
You sniped it. That's
It worked.
crazy.
Hey, I got my own needs.
I was trying to get
Alright,
him.
good luck, guys.
I'm full though, so we
Where
could
we
probably
going?
get down. We can probably leave.
How do we do that?
We go to the Red Lakes balcony lift.
Okay, I follow. Why is there
Okay,
really
there's a turret in that room, so
Why is it where you at?
oh my god, Luca! Thank you for the resub! Goddamn!
I got like
I was going to your other marker.
That's not me.
Okay, we gotta get down there. How do I get down? I guess we gotta go around.
No, I got this. Check it.
Do I use lead in or medium ammo? Okay. I don't know what's
Alright,
good and
guys, I
what's
made
not
it.
good. Hello?
Oh, hey, funny running into you guys.
Wait, did you
Yeah,
get
I was
fall?
with Yeah, I found the fastest way down. I'm with the.
But how do we get down there?
Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Oh.
It seemed like the shortest route, so.
There's the. Is that a missile? A hornet. Do we join them?
Hey guys.
Oh, I didn't take fall damage.
What took you guys so long?
Thank you for that. I mean, we didn't take the express pass down here. Oh, Chuya, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. How are you doing, Chuya? Welcome in, Yan. Welcome in, Ace. How was your stream? Thank you for shouting out to Yan.
Chuyawoof rated your channel with 10 viewers.
We just extracted from our first extraction. But welcome in, everybody. My name is JanjoWill19. I go by Jan or Janjo, and I play a lot of variety games and FPS games. And we're trying out Art Raiders for the first time. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just following Celeste and Weiser. If you guys need to go get some rest, please feel free to do so. I know it's pretty late for you, especially in Noon. What are you doing up? It's like 4 AM for you. How you doing, Chuya? I was lurking, so I'm also part of this raid. Now what?
That was it. We beat the game. We can go home.
We beat the game, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Oh, for me, it's fine. So it's like, oh, no worries. It's fine. Yes, Nyan, please get some rest. And welcome back, Jukebox. How you doing? I got these things from my adventure. I don't know what any of them means. I click unload backpack.
Yep. That's how I put it all in.
I got a bunch of XP. I got 3 creds.
There you go.
I picked up the pieces, apparently. Juice box, not jukebox. You woke up almost at night? What? Yan, what's your sleep schedule? Are you in America? Condition.
Congrats on first, Ari. Ari.
Okay, that's. I think.
Oh my god, there's glow sticks in this game?
Wait, how many skill points do I have? I thought this was my skill points. What? How many points do I have? I don't know. I'm out of skill points. Are you just gonna be staying up all night, Chuya? Have you had dinner?
I'm kind of in a hurry, so
I can purchase some binoculars. I have a chicken. I can train the chicken. Let's go. Think I need to sharpen my licencios. It's okay. Celeste was never seen again.
Peace Celeste, we miss her already.
I'll make her the leader. I don't know how, actually. I can only kick her. How does that make sense? Are you ready, Wiser?
Yeah, I'm ready. I was just waiting on you to figure out what you wanted to run.
I'm just using free loadout because I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, fair enough. Why do
Celeste
I have a
doesn't
hand?
want to talk to us anymore.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Thank you. Thank you for
Doesn't
the
even
alert
deny it.
box.
The Lord
Exactly.
Raiders? Yeah, I love it too, though I did download Tarkov, so maybe I'll start playing Tarkov.
Tarkov?
Yeah.
Without us, I can't believe you.
Fuck you.
Damn. On a Monday, too?
Yeah, Arya, you can mentor me. You can be my senpai. Yeah, Arya's been playing a lot of Tarkov and a little bit some Ark too.
Ark? The dinosaur game?
Survival Evolved?
Yeah, I love that dinosaur game. I love
Right, you
Ark
can open
Raid.
this, I promise I won't steal everything from inside of it.
It's taking a while.
If you steal, I'm leaving.
I'm taking it.
If you steal, I'm leaving, Jan.
I'm taking
And I'm not joking. I had a free loadout. I'll just leave. Fuck it.
I'll take it.
I'ma kill you.
I'll take
in
it.
Minecraft.
Is there friendly fire?
No. There's not.
Dang.
It looks like there is. I opened that so slow, bro.
Yeah, we can prank a team by shooting at each other, and then we shoot them back.
Oh my god, that's a perfect idea.
Wait, that's a good
We'll be like
idea.
in like far range, and I'll be sniping you, and then when they start shooting at you guys, we'll just start shooting them.
We turn around, yeah.
Yeah. See, already pro strats. That's my second game.
And we can like insult each other in like proximity
Yeah,
chat too.
perfect. How do I know which one's
Shane's just
open?
been waiting for an excuse to use guerrilla tactics.
Hey, it's been so long since I have to use it. And this is perfect time. Anything good? Or left? Left me some charger. I thought that bush was an enemy. Oh, look out!
Where?
No,
Okay,
there was
on
like
the
there was a
hunt for
bush
some
like
mushrooms. I
running
think
over
it's
here.
somewhere.
There's a thing on the right. Let's say at east. Oh, this is sniper. Bro.
You
Did
get
we
one
get
shot,
shot
but
at?
that one shot hits.
Yeah. No, we were
Did we
shooting a
get
bot.
shot
There
at?
was a bot. There was a
Oh,
bot.
okay, okay. Three
Oh, now we have
to.
to.
Get wrecked, dude. Is the streamer
Celeste is
locked
just
in?
taking all the loot from us.
Yep, you gotta be faster. Oh look, look, another one. I found another one. Look at that. That's crazy.
I don't even know what these do. Anyone use light ammo?
I do.
Okay, you can have this then.
I'm heavy though. I'm too thick now.
How do I drop it? There we go.
Okay, I'm ready to
Thank you so
leave.
much.
I'm full. Streamer
Alright,
loot for
where do
real.
we leave? Can you ping?
We can rate something real quick though. Guess if we were to
Like
leave, we'd
arc
probably
raiders
leave there
or-
though. So we can go to the testing annex and open some shit there and then leave
Alright.
after.
Like where we were last
Yes,
time.
boss.
Did someone say meow? Yeah. We have a cat on here.
Oh, there's a leaper, guys. Don't shoot that.
Got it, I'm shooting.
Jen, you should shoot that.
Sure, go ahead. I'll go far away from you if you do shoot
You're the
it.
closest one. You're the closest one.
Yeah, but I wouldn't shoot it. It would aggro to you, not me.
No. I'll
She's just trying to
pretend
keep you
to
from the
be.
good loot. You should shoot it.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
shoot
That
it.
sounds like
Yeah,
a
I dare.
leaper. It's gonna leap my. There's
Lady
a big.
Havoc sent meow 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 meow
Thank you
meow
for
meow
the
meow
meows.
meow 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 meow
There's a-
meow
there's
meow
one right
meow
there.
meow 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 meow
shoot the
meow
leaper?
meow meow
No,
meow
there's just a
meow
little.
meow 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 meow
I shot
meow
the
meow
god
meow meow meow
thing.
meow 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 meow
He's- who's shooting at it?
So yeah, Jen, for these smaller ones, aim for the It'll make them spin out and hit the ground.
I'm getting shot by drones.
Nick's Oleander sent meow meow meow.
Thank you for the
meow,
outlook,
meow,
Whisper.
Meow 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 meow.
Hey, the leaper's
meow,
here.
Meow 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 meow.
It's on Celeste.
Meow 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 meow.
She needs help.
Meow 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 meow
Open.
meow 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 meow.
Goddamn.
meow, meow,
Are we doing this?
meow,
Are we doing
Yeah.
this or are we running?
Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it.
Good luck. My
Jeez.
guns are
We're doing it.
absolute dookie.
I have light
Is there
ammo.
like a
What am I gonna do
weakness
to
for
this
the
thing?
leaper?
Oh,
Shooting at it. It says weakness.
I have done 1 damage.
Nice. I'm looting. How do I?
I am out of bullets.
Perfect.
I am also out of bullets.
I am not. I'm ready to shoot it. I killed it. Just
I
kidding.
don't think-
Made you look.
You did not kill it.
Made you look.
KJN bait it. Not to me!
I can't. It keeps. I have to reload for like 15 years.
Do you have any defibs, Jan?
Nope.
Can you crawl to me? I have a defib, by the way.
Oh, you're down?
Yeah.
I'm
I
coming.
have
I
a
got
defib.
you.
I have defib. I'll get him. It's fine. I'll get him.
Here,
I
watch
have a-
this. Barricade. Barricade? It's not working. Guys, it's not working. Barricade! Now I have a wall. You can't get me.
Okay, I'll start the thing to go down now.
You
Block
do that.
the panels on the legs? Oh.
I have like nothing for these wasps. Barricade these.
Me
No.
neither, so I called the elevator, guys. Where we were at earlier.
Wiser, we're leaving. I have no heals. I'm getting sapped. That wasn't a smoke grenade. That was a stun grenade. I have no more heals. I have nothing.
Mid-running loot session.
Hold on, let me search these cabinets real quick. They're all empty. Yeah, they're all empty.
Oh, he's here. Boy. I'll throw a glow stick at him.
Is the door open?
Fuck you.
We're closed today, sorry.
Door's open. Glow stick's for good luck.
I'm typing on the computer. Come back.
Jan, get in here.
I'm coming.
Jan, get
I'm
in here.
down.
Crawl in, crawl in, crawl in, crawl in. You can walk in.
Yeah, I'm trying. Weiser, there's sappers. Go back inside. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Help you.
I don't have
you
any
have smoke
defibs,
grenades?
guys.
Smoke grenades.
I only
I
have
have
one.
defibs, but
I'm almost
We're coming
inside.
The door, the thing's leaving in 1 minute, guys. 1 minute 30 automatically.
I am almost here.
coming in.
Close it, close it, close it.
Yeah, I'm typing on my computer.
All right, I'm also typing on this one.
Rat bastard.
What happened?
I got shot. I got tased.
What?
There you go.
The Jane, you bled out.
You didn't revive me.
Did you not crawl in?
I wasn't. I bled out.
His timer ran out.
Oh.
All my loot. I got 3 creds.
Let's go.
I didn't die, thank you, Irene. Hey, I can workshop my chicken.
My stash is already full, bro.
Damn, imagine having a full stash. Couldn't be me.
Oh, and I already just upgraded it too, so I need 130,000 coins. Oh.
How do I get more coins? I feel like I've just been getting creds.
You can sell things from.
Oh, these things.
There's some. The thing is I would not sell everything just because there are some items that you need for upgrades on your workshops and stuff.
Oh.
So I would be careful.
I'll come in with a rattler in my ammo. Quest. I got more.
Okay, so
I got a
weapons,
rattler
strength.
3.
I'm not good with.
Obtain
this
6 wires and
anvil at
1
all.
battery. I'm so ready.
Look at that anvil 4.
So ready.
Oh, augments.
What do you mean? What is that amount of guns?
Yeah, you never know when you're gonna run out of guns.
All these are kind of dookie. Stitcher, I like the Stitcher though.
I like my sniper rifle. It was pretty good. I got to kill like 0 things.
Component. I need barrel, stock.
Yoink. The puppies.
Can't make any wires. Dang.
Once Jane gets his hands on the anvil, it's a wrap. I'm telling you.
I already got the anvil.
You're gonna be deadly with that thing, I'm telling you. No doubt. You're just gonna be dropping people.
Oh, blueprints. Oh, I can craft them here. Oh, there we go. We can craft them here and not take them with me. Can I take that with me while I use the preload thing? Or no?
I do not know.
Can you what?
Can I take stuff with me if I use the free loadout or no?
No.
Okay.
You would have to use a regular augment.
That's fine. I'll just keep using the free one. You can tell Celeste isn't from the West. Look at him. She got no hat
I
on.
can tell that. Huh?
you You don't have a cowboy hat.
Oh. A true American? Bro, I want my own gun, guys. Then I will be a real
Soon?
American.
What are these decks? Raider deck. I can be bald. Oh no, that's third spray. Never mind. Is this a battle pass? Is this what this is? Ooh, the Leviathan set. It can be a diver.
Yeah, some of the armor are like outfits are sick. The Boonie one is so nice.
Which one?
The Boonie. I could not imagine not owning the Boonie.
Have to find it. Where's that at?
Outfits?
What's the set called?
Boonie?
What? I don't see it.
Boonie.
Yeah, I don't see anything that starts with a B. I see the Bog Walker set.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what the set's called, but the outfit.
Oh. What's the set called?
The Bog Walker, I think.
Oh. Well, I didn't get... I saw it in the last second. Loaded in.
When I hovered over it, it just said, me.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Alright, where are we? I got a little kettle.
Rattler. I'm gonna rattle them, boys.
Remember, Raider, you can wander around until you stumble upon what you need, or you can learn how to recycle and take matters into your own hands.
I got shot. No one's using a shotgun, arm.
Nor.
Alright, I'm just gonna drop this down. Alright, which way?
I don't know. Let's go there for now.
Okay. Oh yeah, thank you for the lurk. And thank you for the
Oh
emo hack.
yeah, thank you for the lurk.
Raider camp.
You got a raider key?
No, I said Raider camp. I was reading
Oh.
the thing.
If you find a toaster, you should probably collect those. Pillows, you should
Toaster.
save those. Cat bed, you should save those. The dog collar, you should save those.
Okay.
What else should we collect? Any apricots, you need to collect those.
I have
Lemons.
a jolt mine and a lure grenade.
Those are throwables that you can like use them in like fights and stuff. It's not for upgrades specifically, yeah. Prickly pears, yeah, there's prickly pears.
I'm out of stamina. It's a jolt. It's a mine,
There's a
right?
pharaoh here. There's a kettle here. There's two guns, two weapons here if you guys want one.
I'm putting a mine at the stair server. I'm good.
Oh, there's a toaster here. Take the toaster.
A toaster.
Everyone knows that in the arc-riddled wastelands, a toaster is a man's best friend.
Yeah. And how else are you gonna make toast?
It's the
Are
best
we
bath
done looting?
bomb in this world, honestly.
You need to find water first, though.
I was gonna make that joke, but I held that back. I was like, I don't know if that flies around y'all.
No, we can fly here.
I can fly. I live in dark humor. I brave dark
Miyazaki
humor.
did it again. Welcome anyway. How you doing?
But if anything, I would say that toaster bath is pretty tame.
True.
I got a dog collar. Jan, come here. For my husband.
Yes.
Bark for your Jan.
I got a new gift for you, sweet pea. Where you at?
Blue. Art's good. We're constantly winning. We have not died yet. We're too good.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Iwi, when are you
that,
free this week? I forgot to ask the group chat.
Iwi, that's a cute name. Iwi. I like that.
Who's carrying? You already know who's carrying.
It's me.
It's the cat.
There's
Garlic
another
press.
toaster here. You should
Well,
take it.
Weiser can take the toaster.
I don't know if Weiser already has all his toasters required. Do you, Weiser?
I mean, I can always use more toasters if I'm being completely honest.
I'll take the toast.
I have not gotten a single toaster, I'm gonna be honest. That was my first
Oh,
one.
you haven't? Oh.
No.
You're free right now? Alright, get in. We're playing Night Rain. Right now, I'll
ditching
play
us? That's
2 games at
crazy.
the same time. No, I'll just play it on my other screen.
This
can
can't.
multitask.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Oh!
I
Damn.
survived. That was actually for style points, you know?
Yeah, sure.
I have crashed.
See, style points.
Do we just punch you?
Oh, I'm good. I
Oh,
think.
this hasn't been
We're chilling.
looted.
Everything broke for a sec.
I was fixing you. Oh!
Tagging name. There's
Iwi's
a light
not
shield
free. Iwi lied to us. We got pranked. Where? Thank you for the hydrate.
I need it.
Let me get this first. Can't believe you pranked me. Where's my water?
Wish I could steal people's family photos.
Steal their families?
Photos.
You
Oh.
can.
Not for like any reason. I just think it'd be immensely funny to have a stash filled with random people's photos.
Yeah, just rob the house of people and then just grab their photos. Don't take anything else. Then they're gonna be confused.
Let's see. Is there any prickly pears here? If there is, y'all gotta save up on the prickly pears. Is agave
What is that?
useful for anything, Bug? Hi, Ulti. Welcome in.
Welcome in, ulti. Weiser, we take fall damage.
You take fall damage.
Oh yeah, it's medical supply stuff. It's true.
I really
Be
do.
careful on these rocks. A bug got stuck like 2-3 times around this this part.
A bug? What do you mean a bug?
Infamous bug. On these rocks, he got forever stuck in the walls.
What does that mean? How you doing, ulti?
Like he clipped through the rocks.
How was the Baldur's Gate?
I need the wires.
You just did a kickflip?
Yeah, this
The
guy's...
drone silent on us?
I can't believe that. That was crazy.
Oh.
Medium ammo. You need light ammo, right?
I need that. Oh, hey, look, bug! 2 of them!
Oh, people? People?
Oh wait, I need light ammo.
Ah, that's so good.
Yeah,
we're
we're
friendly,
fine.
bro! Yeah, hell yeah! Are you trying to leave? Oh,
Welcome
bet.
in.
Welcome in.
Let me disarm my trap.
Oh, we were shooting the flying things.
Yeah, there were
I
bugs
forgot.
flying around.
Nah, for
Yo,
for,
these guys are gonna
for the
turn on
other,
us. These
the
guys
one
are gonna turn
behind.
on us.
Yeah, the one
Yeah,
upstairs
it's my
is the
first game.
one.
Did you guys go
They're gonna
downstairs?
turn on us.
Yeah.
Did I call it or did I call it?
Rat bastard actually die.
Are they still alive?
What you sorry, bitch? Fuck you!
I'm Addy.
Dude,
Run
the
away,
second they started
Jen.
asking, like, oh, is this your first game? Like, how many games have you played? I was like, they're gonna turn on us. Like,
Don't leave, Jan. Go to another place.
I know. Where's another one? Can you mark it?
I can't open my map. You're gonna have to look. If you look northwest
so
to
far
north,
away.
no, northwest to north, that way, 55. It says there's an elevator that way. I don't know though. Oh, it might be
I
bugged
don't
for me.
see
Actually,
any in the map. What
you
you
gotta
mean?
see a box with an arrow.
Yeah, the
pointing
closest
down.
one is all the way over there at the bottom of the map.
You got 20 minutes. You can do it.
How do I ping? There we go.
I'm there, husband. Hello.
Why didn't y'all wait for me? I could have shot them with you.
Not to make it awkward, but both my husbands are here.
You lost the prickle.
Celeste, what are your like favorite guns right now? What do you run?
Pharaoh and Stitcher. Thanks for the chug.
Barrow and Stitcher. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's like considered meta, or what's fun, or.
I am a
Yeah, both
bush.
pretty good. Thanks for posture check.
Yeah. I had an anvil once, and it was like the most fun I've had for about 5 minutes, and then got absolutely ruined by a bastion.
Let me see. Meta weapons Arca.
Meta weapons.
Let's see. People are saying
Mark
that
Zuckerberg's
the
making blickies.
I could not tell if that was a
Anvil's
guy
E tier,
or
Stitcher's
not.
A tier. Pharaoh's B tier. Il Toro's B tier. Rattler's D tier. I hate that gun, honestly.
Yeah, I had that this run, and it did nothing. So I was like,
Yeah, I have a kettle and it's like a burst. Or is it a burst? I was like shooting like 2 bullets.
yeah, that gun sounds like a nail gun to me, and that's kind of the only reason I ran it. It's because I found it funny.
Hey guys, just passing through.
Careful.
I'm just passing through.
I'm just passing through.
I just walked into 2.
Berletta? Let me look at the Berletta.
They died 500 meters that way.
Give me your cowboy hat.
Guys, get under here. Now they paranoid. See, it's a strat.
I
Now
want
they
to
think
carry an
they're coming.
item that when I go down, calls whatever nearby arcs directly to my position. That's what I want.
Hey, sir, do that.
I want a broken arrow type thing.
Oh my god.
I want a martyrdom.
Let me just put a hand grenade in my prison wallet so that when I go down, I can unclench.
Where did you see bug where you could loot things faster?
That's cheating.
That's cheating. We would never do that. But like, if we
Conditioning
were,
tree.
how would we do that?
Yeah, how do we do that so I don't do that glitch?
So I don't accidentally do it. How would I go about that?
I need some lemon and apricot.
Oh, this one, profession prior. I see it. I'm trying to get to this one.
Yeah, I need this like marathon runner one.
Yeah, I got Marathon Runner 5 and Youthful Lungs 5. That was like the thing I rushed first. Though I would also recommend you rush in around crafting in the survival tree. If you go agile croucher, revitalizing
far away.
squat, and in round crafting, it takes 3. 3 points. Unlocks the ability to field craft items while topside.
Okay.
And what
Maybe
trees?
that's not far away.
Survival.
Survival.
Survival. The bottom branch. So the little yeah, I would do that one too.
need
So then
damaged
you can craft
arteries.
bandages topside and stuff.
Should wear my glasses so I can see better. I'm ready.
Where am I? I am almost ready.
Welcome in the meaner. What the hell is that? I forgot the cat's name. But how did your peak go earlier? Did you win? I thought I had the ready up. Almost peaked and almost died once. What happened? Was it a hard map today? Now I'm bitch again. Castellius. No problem. Please get some rest. Oh, killing happened. Understandable. Miscalculated? It's okay. I'm doing alright. Throat's dying. I need more water. We're trying out Arc Raiders. We are constantly winning. And never losing. I was gonna say that. Thank you for the hydrate. The daily is sold out? Wait, what do you mean by daily? The daily goal? Is it broken? What's happening? Let me see. Here we go. It shouldn't be. Oh, there you go. How about now? Is it good? There you go. Is the daily cheese and gold good now? Congrats on 0 cheese. You have 2 tries. You can try twice. I don't know why I keep saying 0. Everybody should start at 1. Let me see.
No cheese.
Yo, congrats on 1 goal. See, that one started at 1. So why did that one not start? Wait, we're in the game. And Celeste didn't tell me.
I didn't know I had to tell you every time we joined in the game. If only you were paying attention, then, you know, that wouldn't happen.
I was alt tab. You should have just told me.
How
You
would
didn't
I
tell
know
me you weren't ready for like 3 minutes. You didn't tell me you were ready for 3 minutes. I alt tabbed because you weren't here.
Well, I didn't know you weren't alt tabbed. I usually wait in the. You can also set it so you can hear audio even outside.
I thought
you're alt
is
tabbed in
that
the
like
game.
off or
Yeah,
manual?
it's set off automatically, but you can change it.
Well, that's
Oh
stupid.
my
It's
God,
usually
that's
always on. What the
crazy.
hell? This game is
What the heck?
odd. Why is it doing that? I got a Stitcher. Is that a good gun?
It's actually like the best.
It's one of the best
You
ones.
should-
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It eats a lot of light ammo though, so.
I got the best gun. I'm locking in. See that, we? I'm cheating. What ammo does this use? Light ammo. Is that you, Celeste, shooting?
I have spare light ammo if you need it later.
I have like 100. It's fine. Thank you. That's cheating. What do you mean cheating? What did I do? Yes, the stinkies are here.
Is it a field depot? Winning.
I need apricots and lemon. Where do you find this?
There's another map that it's a lot better to find. So yeah.
I have a blaze
have
grenade
to-
and a zip line. I don't know what to do with that.
I think the zipline makes you like Pathfinder from
Yeah.
Apex, so
It's a Pathfinder alt.
From Apex.
Yep.
How far can I zip line?
I mean, you can just pull it out and see. I'm pretty sure you can. You don't need to deploy it.
What is that blue thing over there? That's
is it a
lighting up.
supply beacon?
Where?
I thought I saw
I
movement.
think it's just a surveyor.
What does that mean?
Survey perfected or something.
Oh,
I
there's
see
people
movement.
there.
Is that people?
Thank you for the hydrate.
Are we fighting?
I don't know.
They're
There's-
fireballs.
What? You're the only
There's
one
a
there.
team on top of there, guys.
That's why I'm confused. Where are you on?
I pinged.
Yeah, but why is just over here looking at some server? Are you shooting him?
Yep. He went that way.
I can't see that far.
Is it like people or?
People. Yeah, there is somebody there.
It's a robot people.
Oh.
That's what I said.
Yeah, my
They were
bad.
doing-
There was a pretty butterfly over here, and I wasn't paying attention.
I shot the guy back. Oh, I'm getting shot again. I'm regenning.
I got one dude down. Hey, listen, I didn't want to hurt you. They kind of pressured me into it, so just like know that this isn't you, it's me. I'm being peer pressured. I'm sorry. I didn't want to do this.
Oh my god, stop yapping, dude.
You get over there, Celeste?
I'm just trying to heal up my shield.
I wonder if I can do something really toxic real quick.
I can't see these people very well.
I don't know. It just felt right.
I'm getting shot by the tree line. I think another team's behind him. Wiser, you good?
I'm so weak. So this is where we meet, huh? He's trying to flank you to get a shot.
Door grenade. I can't see that well.
Fuck.
Where is he?
It's behind the tree. I think he's racing as well. I think that was karma. Yeah,
He might go res his friend, I think.
Yeah, I'm down.
No,
That guy got a
nice
machine gun. I couldn't see. They're in the bushes. They're blending
Okay,
in.
so you know mercy is a virtue.
Hey, I know virtue.
You know,
That's my brother.
he's just gonna fuck yourself and shot me in the head.
Hey, if I die over here in this bush, they're not gonna get my loot.
Hey, that's me.
We lost the
what?
best gun in the game.
Did we?
I don't know how we lost that.
Which
Can't
one?
hit the best gun in
I
the game.
lost to a Toretate. I don't know how much damage I did to the other guy.
Yeah, I wish there was a way that you could
Oh wait, I can see. No wait,
see better.
wait. Dealt damage. I did 100 damage from damage deflect and 64 to health.
The heck is that one? Let me look at that one. Looting, tactical.
Is there a way to zoom in my screen?
Hell no.
Where did I get olives? Hello?
From the olive store?
Just looking through my stuff. I'm like, gun, shields, olives?
How do I see how much creds I have for leveling up?
How much what?
Like, skill points I have for leveling.
If you open the skill tree, if you don't have anything available, then you don't have any skill points to use.
They don't have
Usually
a...
get one skill point
Oh.
when you level up. Yeah, you?
Nice, nice.
Onion. Thank you for the follow.
It's onion.
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 Another one of
I
my
don't-
husbands.
I don't
How
like.
many
Do I have to
husbands do you
buy these
have?
binoculars?
I am just a man.
No, you don't need to buy the binoculars.
Oh, there's a quest. That's why. Destroyed 3 orc enemies. Okay. I'm sorry, chicken. I did not get you any lemon or apricots.
Oh, you can throw hornet drivers as like a stun grenade. I didn't know that. That's sick.
There's our practice range.
But I'm pretty sure you probably need the drivers for like workshop upgrades, right?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking if we're fighting something big, like we were that walker, that would have been helpful.
What are these rounds played mean on this map screen?
Don't have any healing stuff. Let's freeload out for a while. Alrighty, Buck. Thank you for the lurk.
Welcome in, Raiders. Wait, they're watching the second one after the third movie? Wait, why is that shout out? I have like no volume. Here we go.
Are you guys ready to raid? I'm ready to raid.
Celeste is still talking to the raid.
I fucking rolled, you bastards.
All right, well, she's talking to the raid. Still all the good shit.
Quick, we gotta.
All this has been looted. God damn it, she beat us to it.
Damn, we joined in late. What the
Yeah, what-
fuck?
Yeah, it's already like gone. I got a pharaoh.
Nice.
Charger.
All right, let's get out of here. We got the loot. Time to leave. Any guns?
Nope.
Alright, guess I'll be a sniper. Do I press this button?
I just got the stitcher.
I
That
don't
we
have a
need a
key.
raider,
Let's see.
a raider hatch key, and then you can escape using the raider hatch key here.
Oh, thank you for the snack. What does a tagging grenade do?
Ooh, you took the matriarch, sick.
You throw it and it will mark arc
We,
and raiders near you.
Oh. Like
It's
anywhere?
helpful if you don't want to like clear a room. You can just throw that in and know if there's someone in there.
Okay. What is that? Celeste got a battery? A radio?
I got a thing. Hold on, I need to go to a field place.
Same. I don't know where it's at though.
Twins.
I got a cooling fan for my PC.
Oh, you can ping it?
Yeah, if you open your map, it says Field Depot.
The fuck? I didn't know you could do that.
Or I'll go
I'm
ahead.
faster
So
than you.
Another day.
Skirt. Get wrecked. I'm winning.
For us Amazon workers, just another normal day. Jan, can you shoot Celeste for me, please?
Yeah, hold on. I'm reloading.
Oh shit, I'm slowed down now. Can't catch me. Can't catch me.
Oh, nice. I need wires.
No!
Get overtook! Oh, and he takes it home for the gold medal.
What the hell am I doing?
Quick loot. Before. Oh,
I'm a
Jan
link
took it.
searcher, dog.
Yo, look at
Jan
all that
yoinked
loot.
it.
Yoink, yoink,
Jan
yoink.
yoinked it.
He's just taking my stuff.
That's
No,
crazy,
I'm
Jan.
just checking it out.
It's okay, I'll take your Celeste to make up for it.
No.
Since you found it so funny.
I'm just
I'm
making
leaving.
sure.
I'm on free loot. I'm on free gear. I'm leaving.
Just making sure that everything here is good. Medium ammo.
Inspector Jane.
It's yours, is the cash company. I'll be dosing up now. Reaching. Yes, no problem. I read. Thank you so much for stopping by. Good night. Let me tuck you in and get shot in the game.
Damn, I got a shotgun. Nice.
There we go. 97
Matrix your
bits.
fava.
I have a power rod. I'm
Yeah,
ready.
you do.
Yeah. You can open these? This doesn't look openable. You turn the game up a little bit so I can hear movement better.
Maybe because we joined so late, all like the scary PvP people are already gone. It'll just be like amazing for us.
Unless they're just waiting. Now where to? I'm overcumbered and I need to drop something. I'm dropping this speaker.
Listen, a speaker component out here on me. I need that.
Ooh, loot. Don't mind if I do.
Yo, loot. Oh, I can't move while searching. That
Oh, Jan,
sucks.
I got another present for you. Here you go, my little kitten.
Thank you. I'm overcumbered. I'm dropping explosive compound. It's blue. I'm still overcumbered.
This closes in 7 minutes, so if we loot quick, we can hit that.
I mean, everything's looted already. We can go now.
Well, yeah, but you can always find more, right?
My inventory's been full, and I'm overcumbered.
Okay, so maybe we go extract.
Yeah, I can't even run that quick without holding anything. I actually have one more room, but I am still overcumbered.
Over there.
Enemies or?
Rocketeer, over there.
I think the Rocketeer's fighting people over there.
There's a leaper over there.
Oh, it's
I want to
close.
have fun.
Oh, it's close.
I want to have fun.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing. Oh, God. I'm throwing shit at it. Oh, God.
I got. Where's the weak spot for this thing?
The legs, I believe.
Just anywhere in the legs or what?
Oh.
Yeah, if you blow the armor plates
I'm
off,
closing
you
it.
can deal more damage.
I'll get inside. How do I heal you?
Okay.
No, I didn't heal you.
And we win. Look at us.
Yeah. But to BH, there's like a quest that I gotta do where I just gotta shoot the leapers, so that's why I'm been shooting them.
Oh.
Oh. I thought you were
I
like,
gotta
you
just
don't
do
fuck
damage
these
to
guys.
leapers, so yeah.
I did only 46 damage to it.
Damn.
Done work. Nice. Congrats, now you can chill home. What's your plan for dinner, LT? Oh no.
Reload that time.
Advanced mechanical components. What do you mean?
Here we go. Cooking. What you cooking? Staking our claim. What's that?
Yeah. Snack
Is
Attack
this the
Snorlax,
bottle
thank you for the
pass?
follow. Welcome in. How you doing?
My chicken's kind of winning. I thought I leveled up. Did I not? I guess not. What? How do I put...
Yeah.
What? Oh, my stash is full. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, you gotta sell stuff to make money so you can upgrade your stash.
If I sell the Red Alert 3,
Up to you.
I'm selling. Oh, I did get us a football. Oh, damn it. Oh, go. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. How you doing, go? What? Welcome in, raiders. My name is Ginger119. I go by Ginger. And we're trying out our
Playing
collection.
Goat rated your channel with 3
I was
viewers.
Silksong.
Oh, this village is cursed, buddy.
When you go
Ooh,
to
Minecraft.
step on the grass.
And I get to take my.
But I know it's pretty late for you, so if you do need to go
Okay.
get some rest, feel free to do so.
Hey, cut.
Yeah, Silksong is another game that I still haven't played yet.
I know I have.
And I'll be playing that soon. I said that like when the game first came out. But soon. But yeah, thank you again for the raid. If you need to go get some rest, get some food, or go to sleep, please feel free to do so.
Fully locked in for real, for real. I just need to like.
Yeah, I'm so unlocked right now. My eyes are closed.
No, just I was in so much of a loot goblin mode. Someone followed it. I missed it, so I was apologizing.
It's okay. Yeah, great game. Feels so smooth. Nice. It looks like it from like the little cutscene that I've seen. Midnight snack and then eat. Yes. Get some rest. Go. Thank you again for the raid. Celeste, how long can you raid today?
Maybe like another 2 hours.
All right, 2 more games. Got it.
2 hours?
The 2 games. All right.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Not a ton of time, but we can see what we can do.
Ew, I got a
Yep.
rattler. I hate that thing.
Have you played Gambit yet? Any Gambiters?
Oh, what is that?
From
Like
Rivals.
Destiny 2 Gambit?
From Rivals, the Gambit just came out. Anybody use light ammo?
I love Destiny 2. I use light ammo.
Here.
Oh my god, my camera went a little bit all over.
We're in the middle. Where do you
There's
want to
light
head out
ammo
to?
here.
Yeah, I
dropped
just...
it.
I don't even know where I dropped my notes right there. I got a Rattler and a Pharaoh.
Yeah, I've been using the Broletta. It's kind of sick. I like it.
These tumbleweeds, I keep
What the heck
thinking...
is an arc surveyor?
That's not a tumbleweed, that is a Arc Survey.
I think if we don't
Oh,
kill
if
it,
y'all
it
take the
calls
prickly
people
bear.
here.
Okay.
And you can have it.
What? Is the thing a surveiller or what?
There's handcuffs, guys.
What?
There's handcuffs. Y'all should take them.
I'll fucking get it.
Cool.
My pistol can't break its armor, but goddamn, get back here, coward.
I hit it again.
You die today.
Oh. He's so evasive.
Oh my
Nice.
god, I've never killed that. The fuck is inside there? I want to see.
It's just a piece of potato.
Yeah, there's... I'll just...
There's people down there shooting.
There's just...
Do we want to fight
away.
them?
I didn't even loot anything. I'm just looking at what they're holding. Oh, Arc Surveyor Vault. I will take the Arc Surveyor Vault though.
Do we want to
need
fight these guys? They're down there.
My gun is absolute dookie.
Probably avoid them for right now, and then if we...
I have a
run into them,
sniper.
we run into them.
They're down there.
Also, the armor plates that you shot off at that thing, you can loot them and get stuff out of it.
Oh. Is it good stuff or?
I wasn't just running at it with a hammer because I felt like it. Like, that's the best way to get stuff.
Oh no,
Is it any good stuff?
I'm getting spotted.
Like,
Coast door.
I missed. This is a hit scan. Yoink.
I need medium ammo.
Light ammo.
Anybody has some?
What?
Medium. I need
Yeah,
medium.
here. Oh wait, I also need it.
Oh, that's
You
fine.
can
No,
have
no, no,
half.
no, no.
Here we go.
No, I still have some, so it's fine.
Okay.
I'll just see if this one has some. Oh. We're too small.
I need my moon shoes. I can't reach it.
Whoa.
Oh, nice. Oh.
Wait, what? Why did I drop down? I
Why
did
did-
make it. It fell down.
Damn, this thing was actually kind of stuck.
I don't know where the people went down here.
They probably went to the extraction.
Hmm.
Me.
High loot area.
Good streamers. Hope you get epic loot. We're trying. I'm almost full
If
though.
Celeste would get all the streaming loot. Is there a thermostat in the trash can?
It's fine. Is there people?
No, there's the fireballs. They explode and deal a shit ton of damage.
Oh.
You can get burners from them. You can use those as grenade. I highly recommend it. They do very good damage.
Well, I got expired pasta. And I'm over encumbered. So I'm gonna drop this.
Jan, are you just like a vacuum? Do you just pick up everything?
Yeah. Are you fighting anybody
Okay,
back?
so when you get back to the lobby, you can track certain stuff. I highly recommend doing that.
Yeah, you can check resources that you need so you don't feel too lost. That's it.
Yeah, I'm trying to track some apricots.
It's a turret that was shooting.
I hit it once.
But yeah, then you won't be like picking up everything and anything. You can sort of.
Well, I'm usually picking up anything blue or rarity.
Rubber ducky.
Rubber ducky.
Rubber ducky.
Wooden pallet. Wooden pallet.
Light ammo.
Oh, I need a fried motherboard.
I'm just banned. I've made a horrible mistake. My life ends here today.
Are you
I
getting
live.
shot by somebody? Oh no, it's a turret. Okay.
No.
Interesting.
I went up an elevator shaft and there were like 4 turrets in it. I couldn't get up the zip line.
Oh, I need that. It's a blueprint.
Where are we going?
Oh, well, mister.
Wires?
What's up?
I need one more wire.
What's
Speaker component.
I'm ready to extract whenever, just because my
Me too.
thing is full. So.
I'm almost ready. I climbed a tower and I'm
Where's the
trying to
closest
figure out
one?
The Red Lake's balcony left. Light ammo here.
Robot grab!
Wait, let me trade that.
Got so many duckies.
Oh, there might be people. It sounds like there's people extracting right now.
Wait, you guys have
The
an
thing
idea?
is, we can let them extract and then go after. There's not like a big rush.
Yeah, I can see them with my binoculars.
Can you guys
There's
go
people
here for a
extracting.
second?
I wanna know.
I see one guy.
I'm gonna need you guys to be like right here.
Are you jumping off?
Hypothetically speaking.
Bro,
I'm getting shot. I just got shot.
Wait, do you guys have, before I do this, do you guys have
Heal
defibs?
Jan.
I know.
Oh, I believe I can block the door. Let me block it. Let me block it. Let's go down. Let's go this way.
Do you have defibs, Celeste?
No. So don't jump off.
Okay, but like...
Do not jump off, bro.
There's a team here.
I can metagame this somehow. I'm looking for my way. I'm so high up. Oh my god. It's actually making my feet go numb.
It's fine. It's not real.
Do you see me?
Yeah.
Oh no, you guys are in the building.
No, we're outside.
No, we're outside.
Alrighty, Crow.
Good night, Crow. I'm getting shot from people up top. They're chasing us.
Yeah. And there's people right there.
Wait, ping them. I'm a sniper. Okay, that was actually kind of sick.
Bro, I'm not attacking, but there's another team attacking us, so I'd be careful, guys. I'm not attacking. There's another team chasing us, though, so be careful. They're coming from the dam.
There we are. It's just a big ass drop.
Where's your at?
I don't know.
Can
Just
you
jump.
ask them if they have a defib?
No, I'll just jump from this side, though.
If they see you die, they're gonna come murder us.
Yeah, that's true.
Catch me!
I'm catching you!
I'm coming.
Hey guys.
Sliding down. See, it did work.
I told you, I'm the best at this.
Oh, they're getting shot at from the other people. We should potentially just go to another extract. Is there another extraction?
Yeah, there's all the way one over there. Oh, no, that's not it.
No, that's we need a hatch key. Let's go
Yeah,
to the one
we
in the
can-
swamps.
Yeah. How do I unping that?
Can you, yeah, unping? I think
I don't.
you have
It's not
to
letting me.
Press. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, they're fighting up there. There's a leaper right now in front of us.
I did warn them, bro. Onion, I warned them. I did my old job. I did my job. Now, I'm not gonna go there and be like, I told you so, ha 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 ha. But I could.
There's a leaper.
How the fuck are we gonna get back?
I can do nothing actually.
Oh, there's somebody that was right there.
Yeah, I know. They're fighting the other team. It's okay, this guy doesn't see us. He's running past.
Yo, Nike, if you're trying to be a friendly squad, but I want to... Well, you just gotta play without that friend, I guess.
Just kill your friend.
Kill your friend.
Guys climbing this.
But we're just walking up.
We're running it up.
Oh.
We used our legs and walked up.
It was not letting me. It kept like pushing my ass back down. That was wild. It's like y'all got winter boots.
Yeah.
Are you guys not wanting to loot this?
Our inventories are full. I just want to leave.
I'm almost encumbered.
Thank you for the
so-
headpads, Silas. How you doing? You have a good Monday? And have you ever played this game? It's like Helldivers 2 meets Huntman Showdown. Wiser, we're like a Wiser.
There's a drone.
Well,
Run!
we're like
Avoid it!
200 meters away from him. If you die, we can't get you.
Ye of so little faith.
You should have listened to me.
Alright, if you die, we're not coming back.
Yell to the puta too.
Oh, we're like running far. Okay, I'm on my way, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now it's scrolling over here.
Sorry, there was a butterfly. I got distracted. I'm on my way.
You never play this game or Helldivers? That's okay.
I have not played Helldivers. Well, I did play a little bit, but
What do you
never
mean?
got
I
too
remember
much
you
into
playing it. I
Helldivers.
remember you playing it.
Yeah, but I never got, like, I played a very, very small amount. I don't really consider that I played it. I wasn't...
Alright, I guess
wasn't
we're
too
gonna
much of a
play
fan of it.
Helldivers tomorrow.
Freedom! For freedom!
For freedom. Democracy.
Democracy!
Freedom and
We're doing good.
Girl ship!
It's getting very cold, so my throat's been kind of getting dry from, like, everywhere I go.
Think of tomorrow? What?
Yeah, you don't remember our schedule for tomorrow?
No, I don't, actually.
We're doing Helldivers too.
Hello?
For Taco Tuesday.
Just got drafted. Congratulations.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
I
get
really
in.
was like, I just got drafted, bro.
Helldiver, get in. You didn't get... Well, Anya, you're playing it with us tomorrow. What do you mean?
Yes.
Is it open?
No, I just found one
Oh.
mushroom.
I lost the timer until this opens. Here, let me touch you. Come here.
I'm not there yet, guys. I'm collecting a mushroom.
Alright, well, we're gonna leave.
Please don't.
Jane, we're about to leave. Why did you heal me?
I want to get points.
I told you, wait! Wait!
Alright, we're
Let's leave
leaving.
without- let's leave without-
I'm touching the pewter. Beep beep boop bop bop beep.
Beep boop boop, start it!
Doors closed and-
Yeah, that's why we're playing tomorrow. Get in. We did it.
God, we're so good at this game.
Yeah.
Bro, it's not like my mushroom. I need so a shit ton of mushrooms.
You have a stream schedule. How could you have a stream schedule?
Hi, leader!
We
That's
can't
crazy,
draft them.
Can I learn this? Unload, continue, skip.
Yeah, that guy shot me with a ferro. There were 2 other guys there
Hi.
in
How
the
you
building with us.
doing?
Crash into treasure.
My stash already full.
How do you get more stash?
Brother. I feel like I just upgraded it, bro. Kill me already.
Maybe leave some for the rest of us. Maybe it's a sign.
My stash is full and my life is suffering. Do I need air freshener, guys? Y'all kind of stinky, so I kind of feel like I kind of need
What?
it.
You call it stinky. How dare you?
Yep, I did. I did.
How fucking dare you?
I did.
In the city.
That's it. I'm unfollowing you on Twitter. I can't believe this.
Alrighty, yours.
You guys have a sweater? I have a cutscene. What's happening?
You guys
I'm watching a cutscene.
Faded murals. Old ads.
Oh, did you unlock a new map?
I don't know.
Toys left where kids used to
There's new maps. There's a ducky.
Like the place still remembers. Even if no one else does.
Whoa. Join the Helldivers.
I want to be a helldiver when I grow up.
Yeah. Can help the planet. Not enough space. Yeah, where's my stash? Am I supposed to do anything with all these weapons and stuff?
You use them.
Well, no, like...
I mean, she's not wrong.
I guess I'll use this to swap. Safe pocket. guess I'll just sell these. I don't, you know. What do I craft? Where's the crafting menu? Oh, I can make a new workbench.
Do you need to request in supply drop from a call station? Do you know where a call station is?
You're asking me? No, I don't.
Leaving for now. Have a great day, Ilka. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Stopping in. I keep clicking something.
Need to destroy a snitch.
I need
Destroy hornets.
Oh, I can make a gun. I can craft a stitch. Sure. The Renegade.
Renegade waiter? Oh my god, do you have Renegade waiter?
I can upgrade the Pharaoh. Whoa. I have the Pharaoh too now.
Hell yeah.
2 Pharaohs.
Hell yeah, Batman.
Alright. Trader.
You can recycle loot while topside. I'd thank you for thank you. That should keep the ceiling.
Inventory. Oh, I have no room. Guess I'll just sell all these. I'm guessing the diamonds are the only... You can only sell those for like money?
Yeah, sometimes they're used for like crafting stuff, like workbenches, but for the most part, it's just sell for cash.
I already sold them all.
Or you can... Okay, yeah, fair enough.
It's too late.
There are some diamond items that you do need to keep, though.
Like which ones?
The cat bed. The pillows, the dog collar. The olives, prickly pears, mushroom, apricots.
Yeah, I totally didn't sell those. Yeah. I wrote them, I'm writing him in my mind.
I need to kill a rocketeer.
Need heavy
That's not
ammo.
too hard.
That's fine, I'll just walk in with this. Alright, you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, I got Buried City. You want to do that?
The fuck is Buried City?
Oh, is that the sand one?
Yeah, you can do another one.
That one's mostly residential loot, isn't it?
That's fine. It's like, that's me.
What do you mean there's no room? There is room. Alright. For a second I heard Pharaoh's tuna? Yes, I did say Pharaoh's tuna.
Can you gift stuff in this game? Like if I want to buy something from the store for someone, can I do that?
I don't know.
If you can what?
Is there like skin gifting in this?
Oh, that I don't know actually. Probably not implemented, honestly.
No.
Not. I mean, the game did just.
My dad just downloaded this game and he's like, "Yeah, I'm excited to play," so I was gonna gift him a skin.
Just
I
log in
forgot.
onto
I
his
could have.
account.
I could have bought a skin actually.
I think I could do that.
Where are we?
Middle of nowhere sounds about right.
That's good.
I've
After
like
this
never
one?
played this map though.
The hell was that?
That's the last time I'm following you.
After this one, I'm gonna take a break. I gotta get delivery. You guys can play. I'll just be in a beer back screen. It shouldn't be too long. Who uses light ammo?
Oh.
Yeah, boy.
I use light ammo.
I drop again. If y'all find any heavy, I'll take them. There's an observer over there, but I don't have the bullets for that guy.
Son of a bitch. I'll remember this day.
Bro, you did that to me earlier with the rusted cog.
Yeah, sure I did.
You did
Sure
that with
I
the
did.
rusted cog. You did.
You got a clip of that? You got a clip of that, huh?
I
You
do.
gonna roll back
Let me,
the VOD?
I have a VOD. I actually have a VOD actually, and I pointed it out in the VOD too. Oh my god, like, I can go
You
get
guys
that
have
and
a
show it to you.
VOD?
I think you're trying to gaslight me right now. I think
not
I'd remember doing
gaslighting.
that.
Bro, I'm about to pull up that VOD. I left the poor people wrong. Light ammo these nuts in your mouth?
Got him.
No, nobody's made that joke yet.
Irie, if she wasn't
Another
sleeping,
one?
she'd make it.
Where the heck
People-
is the thing at?
Does this map even have them?
Oh, is
The
it
depot?
that there? Is that the depot that way? Oh
Maybe.
shit! I keep pinging that.
Where the hell are y'all pinging it?
I'm gonna break my knees about it and go check it out.
I don't see where the depot is.
Never mind. I don't think
Where's
I
it?
just.
Usually I'd see it in the map, but I don't see it.
I'm about to ditch that shit.
They're hiding it from us. The cowards.
Yeah, just drop that.
We're gonna find one about 5 minutes from now and have to run all the way back here.
Well, no, now we know from the next time we play this, man. We're playing Assassin's
Unless it's
Creed right
that.
now. We're dying light.
Oh.
What is it? Oh, bots. We're shooting it. Are you fighting him,
Wait.
Wiser?
No, not yet. But they're there.
We're shooting.
I think he's shooting at something.
Okay, we're shooting at things in here.
I might break my knees here. Yep.
One day we should do the bit. Are you friendly? And then they say yeah, and I'm like, cause I'm not. And then you kill them.
And then they just fucking toast us.
No.
That would be great.
Because we're in with free loadouts.
We have free loadouts and they just destroy
That's why
us.
we get like a busted loadout, you know?
Yeah, and the first team we see with a free loadout just destroys us. Wiser, we're not with you.
I know. I didn't think they were hostile. I didn't even know they were there.
Wiser down.
Bro, where are they?
I don't even know where Wiser is. You are so far away.
Don't worry,
Wait,
I'm
one's
making my way
down?
out. I'm running. Yeah, I saw a flare pop off, so I was gonna go see what was going on, and then they just turned and lit me up.
I have 5 grenades, where are they? There's one behind that door. I hit him.
Dragging my nuts on the floor.
I knocked him down.
One got a D.
You guys still us?
Yep.
Is he dead?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna get Wiser. Wiser, you're running.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello. I thought Vito just gonna say, hey, what's your name? Tony. Get prompt. Thank you for the happy birthday. Havoc, how you doing?
What's your name?
Have you eaten?
We're nuts, bro. We ain't nuts.
Are they all dead?
Hey, Havoc. Show feet.
I have no clue.
There was like 3 bodies here. What do you mean? Where'd they go?
They res in there.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Why me?
Where are they?
They're on the right side.
I got one.
Don't worry, guys. I'm reducing their ammo count.
Another guy?
Help me! He's out there.
Reser?
Get him, Jan.
Get him, Jan. Careful, your shields are broken though. Your shields are broken.
It's fine. I shot him.
Fine. You're
I shot him. I knocked him. I'm just
You
kidding.
did not knock him.
There, I knocked him. See?
My
Easy.
God.
Help me.
I didn't know you guys were down. What the? Why is Weiser down? I thought you revived him.
No, I died. What do you mean? That's why you fighting.
Weiser, did I revive you?
I have a same.
I walked in the door and every bullet they were firing found my face, and I was like, okay, guys.
Yo, these guys are stacked. He's got a statue.
Like I had a glow stick. I don't know what stacked you're talking about.
This guy's stacked, not that guy.
They're stacked. This guy's got like party supplies.
yeah. It's.
I feel like
he's
wait,
ready
guys,
for a
somebody
party.
outside. Shh.
You're saying just like they can hear us
No,
talking.
I'm trying
on
to
Discord.
listen out. I feel like there's somebody walking outside.
Just let him in. Well, I don't have any heals right now. You need a. Never mind.
There's still these bodies outside, right?
Yeah. What is this?
Nothing
I need
here.
to.
Did somebody shoot at me?
I don't know.
I heard a shot. Oh, there's a dead dude here.
Bro, I feel paranoid as shit.
They're in the walls.
Oh, they might be in the station.
True. I need heavy ammo.
Oh, they're fighting in there.
Alright, I'm switching.
I do not have any heavy ammo.
That's fine. I'm switching
some heavy
guns. I'm switching guns to a rattler.
Are we leaving or are we fighting?
We can
Do you
leave.
need heavy ammo, Dan? Jan?
Yeah.
Here.
I don't have any more health. Thank you. Where are we leaving?
Here, I'll bandage
Okay, we're
you.
leaving.
I see people over there. There's 3 people coming over there. They're fighting a different
Let's
people
leave.
on the roof.
Let's wait. Let's wait. Right
Where-
here.
where's the
We can
leave?
Right here. Right here. Let's go down.
Thank you.
Cannonball. I'll put a noise thing here so we know if anyone comes down.
I have like 3 grenades. Do we just wait for a train?
The metro comes, Bob.
I'll watch these stairs.
Oh, let's just go. I'm going behind here. Yeah.
Okay. You guys watch my back. I'm watching the stairs. Can they shoot from the other side?
I believe they can. They have an option to come from here. Yeah. That's why I'm watching it.
Okay. I'm just gonna walk back and forth. Are you guys shooting?
There's a crab.
Okay, train's here.
Can you still pick these up? Yeah, you can.
Pressing the button. Go.
Okay. Returning. Ooh, see, we did it!
Nice.
Wow, why are you shooting at me?
Did I not pick you up earlier, Weiser?
Leader, y'all are nuts. See, we did it.
Weiser, did I not pick you up earlier when Celeste was down?
I don't know. I don't think you did.
Well, you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me they didn't fully pick you up. I was shooting the guy. We could have all died there.
Why are you going?
Because I was gonna shoot him. I thought Weiser was up.
No!
I had so much faith in you, dog.
Yeah, I mean, I had the angle.
Bro.
I had the better angle. What do you mean? He was on the left side. He had the peek my way. And I had the sniper,
Oh,
so
you
I
can
won that battle.
swap your lean
You
angle,
can
by the
swap
way,
your
if you press
view.
X.
Hold X. Press X. Yeah.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter for his angle because he had the worst angle. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I'll be right back.
Alright, so let's do a solo.
Okay.
Then.
I'll
Be right
do
back,
my,
guys.
My what's it called? I'll
Right, man. Yes, Havoc, it is still spooky season. Thank you for the hydrate.
My god, this crash thing sucks!
What you mean?
I'm playing a little browser games and my cars crashed with one another.
Oh, I love that game.
Aw, fuck. You ready to go?
Are you?
Oh shit, my stash is full!
Yeah, my stash is full too, so I'm gonna do a sec. I need to disable that. How did that get enabled? Where's that? You guys are all getting refunded.
Yeah, I'm up.
What?
I had a hiccup.
Damn.
I know, right?
You pranked us. I'll refund y'all later. I can't look at this right now.
Refund my hiccup.
I did.
Thank you, thank you.
Can't believe.
Oh, that guy had
like
a Rattler 3 with an upgrade magazine. The guy that I killed earlier.
Adrenaline shot. I should probably bring a defib or two.
Oh yeah, let me bring those two.
Grenade. What else?
Are we bringing like actual loadouts?
I'm bringing a loadout.
I can't bring free. Yeah.
Okay. I'll bring like a that I've been holding off on using. I don't want to lose it.
Ma'am, I'm bringing my kitted shotgun.
Your kitty?
My kitted
bringing
shotgun.
My Renegade.
Renegade shotgun.
Renegade.
I hear good things about this. I'm excited to try it, but I've been so afraid of losing it. I'm like the Renegade, the lever action.
Oh.
I spent like 25,000 in-game currency on it.
How?
In the like gun store, the merchant.
Oh. I forgot that you could buy. Let me see.
What do you mean no one have heck?
Yeah, you can only buy one, but it's like 21,000. You can also buy anvils.
I can craft those.
Massive flex, all right.
Yep.
She can craft.
Heavy shield, 16,000, bro. I'm excited to be at a point where I have, you know, unlimited amount of monies. That'd be great. But I don't have that right now. I'm broke.
Oh, oops. I mean,
amazing outfit, Jan.
Thank you.
I cannot think of a more fitting outfit for the desert.
Very jealous.
How am I still full? I thought I already sold a bunch of stuff. What more do you want me to sell? Oh, actually, maybe these useless shields that I don't need.
Do you have anything to upgrade your stash?
How do I upgrade? Oh, expand? I do. Oh. I could have expanded like 3 times. Oh, nice.
They.
Thanks.
You are the way to go.
Do we want to go back to the buried one or the sand one?
I think like the higher you go, like the higher loot that you can get. So honestly, just fuck it.
Okay. I'll just go back with a free loadout. Cause I have.
Oh, me and you are doing we're big balling it.
Okay, well, I guess I'll do my original one that I already have then. I mean, it's not really anything. It's just the same thing I went in, and then the gun I stole from the guy.
Which backpack do I want?
Bow, 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 now. Alright, with this, I'm gonna be my little thingy here. Oops, I won't tell that.
I love that Celeste
There you
felt
go,
so
guys.
untripped that she had to spend money.
I succumbed to the temptation.
Oh my goodness. Why didn't you just get the deluxe edition?
I did.
Oh, perfect. Is there anything
Succumb to the
important?
cum? That's crazy.
Hey, yo. To the comb?
During November, kind of fucked up.
Yeah, what the hell? Do-do-do-do.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we're waiting for you to ready up.
Oh, sorry.
Oh shoot, that was the Risk of Rain music. I thought that was the lobby music.
Lucy, thanks for getting daily star.
Yep, she's ready to go.
Yeah, let's go. I'm ready, you guys.
What are we waiting on? God, can we get to a game?
Damn, what's taking so long? Who's not ready?
Fuck you guys.
And you copy my outfit.
No, you
Yeah.
copied me.
Imagine wearing the same clothes and not being in a submarine or diver.
Yours looks like a custom character during a cutscene. Where like
We're going to
we're
space.
somewhat fitting for the environment.
I'm going underground. Underwater.
The second they add a clown costume to this game, but you know I'm getting that.
Soon.
Damn, joined in 7
Oh,
minutes
the
late.
aura of this gun. Oh my god.
I'll look away for a second, now you're in the corner. Yeah. Thank you for the daily
Celeste.
cheese pudding. And thank you for the hydrate.
Even with the Pharaoh, it looks like you're holding a harpoon gun.
Yes. Thank you for the bonk. How you doing, pudding? What's else? Have you eaten dinner? And have you eaten lunch, pudding? Trying out this new game. Everyone's been playing.
Pudding Lord? Puddling
Yes,
Lord, not
the
pudding,
pudding.
Lord.
The pudding.
Puddling.
I'm okay. Tired now. You had a busy day today? Who are you fighting? Those enemies? I'm getting shot.
I'm in your house.
I'm down. I just got shot. I thought Celeste was shooting at him.
Oh.
I'm going in here. About to eat protein popsicle. Ooh. I hope that's good.
I'm
doing okay. How about you?
I acted as a...
As you can see, we just spawned in and we're dying.
He's finishing on me? He's finishing me?
Hey, yo, in November? Can't believe this. Are you able to rest now, Pudding?
Rat bitches!
I'm going
my
away.
God.
Was it really red when they were on top of the roof and I walked outside and I died?
I used my stuff too!
I told you we should have free loot.
We decided to bring our gear.
Yeah.
I mean, my gear was nothing. It's okay, guys. I'll get us up. Give me a second.
That's so sad.
Someone's gonna go to the depot and just find my body. I'm trying to make it to that dark corner. You're on your bed. What? You're taking an afternoon nap? I need water.
I guess I'm gonna do free
Jeff,
loadout again.
heal me up. Jeff didn't heal me. Alright, so free loot. Loadout. I feel like people here will have higher weapons to put in. You know?
So hear me out. We just bring the dirt cheap weapon and play like absolute scumbags.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hit that guy. I hit him for like 60.
Loadout, we can play like scumbags. We just gotta kill a team and steal all their shit, and then we're big dicking it again.
Yeah, and then we bring that in next raid, and then we die again.
The cycle continues.
Yes. There we go. Maybe we'll see people who can hear. Yes. Do you have any plans this week, Pudding? Alright guys, let's go underwater. Dang, that's just like Caldiver's. Wait, is my game? My game's not even on screen. What? Did my game crash? Wait.
Are you throwing?
No, it just didn't decide to show up on my screen for some reason. I'm in. Are we in the same spot where we walked outside and died?
Like,
and my battery's low for my headset, so I won't be able to hear. Work? I got work. I got doctors. Pops destroyed. What's that mean? I have a doctor appointment on Wednesday. You get more medicine. And
Oh my god, bullshit.
Wow, guys, who did that?
Off to an amazing start.
Where's the canister? Oh, and then more volleyball practice because volleyball season's almost starting in like 2 weeks.
Can I
I
craft?
took the perishables from that bot, but everything else I left for
I
you.
can. Rubber power cells and rubber parts. Okay.
What is that
It's
noise?
right outside. Oh my god.
Yeah. Like, how am I supposed to see through my helmet?
Can you imagine if it actually like restricted your vision?
I can't see anything. It's just so bright out there. It's just the sun.
Alarm?
Alright, we'll need to switch my headset battery real quick. I found a hatch key.
Oh, nice.
Oh, put that in your butthole. Put that in your pocket.
I am. Well, actually, I don't have a special pocket. I got the free loadout.
Oh,
I
right.
can't hear anything. I'll be right back. I need to change my battery.
Also take your sloppy seconds of whatever you left off.
Okay, now my headset doesn't want to open.
I need rubber parts.
Plus, you're pretty far. If you go down, we might not be able to help you.
Here you go, I spun you.
For what?
Said if you go down, we might not be able to help you. We're pretty far from
Oh,
you.
that's fine.
Alright, let's go. Aim for the bushes.
Cannonball.
There we go. Have a heavy...
Yeah, those guys last game were on some demon time. They knew what they were doing. It was fucked up.
I mean, they probably just had better weapons. Like...
No, but they were using, like, snapshot grenades at me and, like... They were used to it.
Yeah, I can do that too. I just didn't have it. We get shot, I'm smoking us.
What gun do you have, Jan?
I have the sniper.
The Pharaoh?
Yeah. I always get the sniper. I don't get anything else.
I like the Pharaoh. It's a great gun. So.
Yeah. Where to?
Unsure?
You push me!
Yeah, I was wondering if I could make that jump to the ladder, but it's a good thing I didn't
Well,
try,
now we know.
honestly.
I would have made it, but I hit your back and got sent off.
Can you catch ladders midair?
Yeah, ladders and zip lines you can hit midair.
I knew zip lines. I wasn't sure about ladders.
Yeah, we can ladder stall and do a 360. You gonna hit a clip?
Oh, look at that. Field depot.
Oh.
Oh, it's like very small on the map, so it's barely visible.
Oh, people.
Are we shooting, or it's only one guy?
No, there's
Where's-
teams here.
Where's the other people? I see him. He went up there. They're getting spotted by the. Nice jump.
I didn't make it.
Yeah, I saw.
That's like you today. It's just missing all your jumps.
Alright, watch this. I'll make it. Whoa!
I think he's in there.
I made it.
Sup? I made it, guys.
He shouldn't be. I saw them walk away over there. We hit each other? I have to reload. I'm stupid.
Where the fuck? Oh, he's right there.
I have nothing to heal.
Yeah, he's in that corner there.
I think he's shielding up.
I don't have any healing.
Dan, do you have any arc batteries? You could use those.
Nope.
Okay.
I got
There's a
nothing. I
toaster
got a
in there.
bicycle. I got a bicycle pump. You need me to pump your tires for your bike?
Nobody needs a toaster? Frying pan here too.
I need healing.
Well, I can't help you with that though.
Exactly.
I see him. He sees me. I've fallen off the roof again.
Are you dead?
Yep.
I'm down, yeah. They're shooting in the butt.
Oh yeah, we'll get grenaded.
Oh, that's
Where are
not
they?
a way out? Dang.
Oh, they're up top on the roof.
Yeah, they're on the roof across the courtyard.
I see them.
You're also talking in game.
No, I'm not.
You are.
They'll never suspect it. Because now they thought that I was from the other side looking for them. Now they're backed off. See?
Okay, I'm in a safe place. You should be able to res.
You are not.
What's that red glowing light?
I'm dead.
It was
You
a
were
grenade.
not in a
I found out
safe
what the light
spot.
was, Jan. Yeah, they're on top of us. I don't
They're on
suppose
top of-
Mercy's in your vocabulary. Is Mercy, perchance in your vocabulary?
Yeah, I'm in a safe
I'm not
spot. No,
denying
you
that,
weren't.
but also... Damn.
Okay, I need to switch the talk button.
And now we wait for Celeste to avenge us.
What just happened?
Oh, Emmy! Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, ladies.
I'm in the menu. I guess I'm not gonna watch.
She's sitting in the corner. I'll give you the play-by-play.
Thanks.
Here we have Celeste VT, also known as Celery. Swinging around corners, making sure the room is clear before proceeding in.
Well, why would I want Transformer? Yeah, I just want medium. I don't want super high quality.
Expertly taking out the drones. Arc stand, no chance against her.
There we go. Yeah, shoot that spider. Hey, is my body there from last game?
I think she's still thinking raids.
I know. Good night, Abby.
Using her braids as antenna, she's able to pick up the slightest movement in this tunnel.
Yo.
As the paranoia grips her, she's unsure if she's going to make it out alive.
Oh, she got it. She got it.
Sending feet pics.
Huh?
Oh, it canceled! Bullshit. I got
What
too
happened?
excited about the feet pics. Sending feet pics, imploding feet pics.
Hey, yo.
I missed that story update.
Happened. I also missed it.
What lore card is that when we're uploading feed pics?
Great question. At least one of us got loot. I mean, it's free loot anyway. Do you want to stay there or back to the dam?
Well, we've been having kind of bad luck there, so maybe we try somewhere else.
Yeah, let's go to the blue gate. Oh, it's based on how many rounds we played. So I played 9 rounds, and then the next one unlocks at 12 rounds.
Utility station.
I'm sorry,
You
chicken.
can craft those. Let's craft.
I need one more wire, guys. If you can just, if you find one in the battlefield.
I need to add trading.
I need to stock
be able
up
to, like,
on.
just
I mean, what you can
Yeah,
do
but
is you
you
just
can-
bring them in grounds with you, and then you just drop it to your friend.
That's cheap.
Yeah, but I can't like e-transfer you some wires real quick.
No e-transferring, no.
Yeah, but then you have to fill up the whole. I found my thing found wire. I still need lemon and apricot.
Need a choke.
Wait, what do I need for leveling up? I need lab, rocketeer, bastion cell, bombardier.
Oh, I need a bunch of fabric, metal, plastic parts. I just sold like 30 plastic parts earlier, and now I need 30. That's great.
Yep.
Yo,
That's why,
Toma.
You
That's
can
why what?
also recycle stuff too,
Oh yeah, sure. Let me see.
instead of selling.
Congrats on scoring, Toma. How you doing? How did your car mechanic go last time? I was lurking. Were you able to fix that engine? Which one gives plastic parts?
I mean, if you recycled, you don't need to like right click on it. It tells you what. You don't have to like press OK.
Maybe this football with. Never mind. Some of them are. I can't recycle. How you doing, Toma? Have you had dinner? I can't recycle any of these. I can only sell them. What? Oh, is it because I'm ready?
If it says
It's
it
'cause I
can
was
be
ready.
recycled into crafting material. Oh.
No, I was ready to. I wasn't letting me like recycle. There you go. Now I can recycle all these. Thank you for the alert, Jojo. And you know, it's a pain in the ass, but now but now I was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Nice. What do you think of Valhalla? I don't think I got to play that Assassin's Creed game.
Feed a shot. Yeah, let's keep that.
I brought in like 10 of my grenades in that one mission, and I didn't even get to use them. I grabbed a 10. Y'all pranked me. Alright, I'm ready. I'm just gonna walk in there with my free stuff. So far, like game nice.
Cycle one last thing.
I believe it's still in the Game Pass, so I still could probably play it. I just don't have any room. I need to buy like a new SSD storage. Is there any Black Friday deals going on? Wait, I do have a 4 terabyte in my other PC.
There we go.
Just need to delete that and put it in.
Let's big dick. Let's big dick kill the big. Yep. Can't talk. Kill everyone.
Yeah, what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd make a great battlefield commander, Celeste.
I just scream. That's it. No, install fear by screaming at everybody.
Wait,
Commander Erwin has nothing on you.
HDD? Let me get a HDD. That's like 8 gigabytes. There you go. Terabytes. 22 terabytes. Hey, yeah. I'll take it. We're in the game, though. Where are we? We're in the middle of the street. We're right next to a high loot value area.
Are we? Which,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Like right above us. Okay, gotta go up. Hey, go up, get out of there.
Go up, everybody.
Let's go first.
Well, why didn't you get up first? You were stalling. We're gonna
so
die
do we
now.
go, like up and then under, like, or do we?
No, it's to our left.
Oh, it's
that
right
way.
there.
Yeah.
So, usually there's a lot of people that come in, so beware.
That's fine.
Do we
I
shoot on
have
sight?
free loot.
Shoot on sight. We don't trust nobody.
What
The fuck?
But this goes down. This like exits us. I was just asking game on PC, but not on PS5. It's just a robot.
My god, I can't aim today.
Damn.
It's on sight! We'll kill everybody.
Have you heard of and played this game yet, Toma? I got the Rattler. We need a damn staff room key.
Oh yeah, I think we can. We're at the dam. We can use it somewhere here. We
Use
gotta
what?
find the staff room. The damn
No,
staff
I'm
room
saying
key, right?
I said we need it. I found the
I
thing.
thought you found. Oh.
No, I found the door, but we need the key.
Yeah.
What is? I'm hearing like War of the Worlds going on outside. Oh, it's a turret.
And you activated the turrets.
Dang, that thing has health.
You all good?
It's still alive. Oh, now.
Damn cheat sync.
I feel like I heard somebody.
I have an extended medium ammo mag if anyone's using medium ammo.
I dropped light ammo. I don't get it.
I would. Where y'all at? I think I want to stick with you guys. I'm kind of scared.
We're
Right
looting
behind you.
upstairs.
I thought I heard somebody.
I've been looting.
We're here, alright. We're not hanging you out to dry. Yet.
I need a bunch of these wires. There's people shooting outside.
Ooh, heavy gun parts. Yoink.
Sick.
A speaker component.
Alright, I'm coming.
Just drop that.
Where are we going?
Medium gun parts, ooh. Why are there so many guns? Isn't this like an office?
This is a high loot area.
Metal parts.
Actually, I need those.
What's that noise?
Celeste is playing a horror game with herself right now.
Yeah, bro. Bandage, I'll take that. Oh, I need that right there. Yeah, there's a dog collar on the ground. Take the dog collar if y'all want it.
Adrenaline shot.
Y'all want some pasta?
Yes.
Okay, let me... There you go. There's a syringe here. So it's not being... No.
Alright, where do you want to go? Exit's all the way over there. Or over here.
This is a devious sniping spot.
Yeah, if only you had a sniper with a scope. Which I don't. What if we just sat in this room and then waited for someone to open the door?
Give them a heart attack.
Yeah.
Oh god, a deep sea diver! Run for it!
This guy's diving in here. I actually thought somebody opened the door for a second.
So jumpy.
Yeah, you can die pretty
Okay,
quick.
I'm ready to go. I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm like fully encumbered, so we can exit when you guys
I
are
am
ready.
fully... I'm thick
Do we
now.
want to go to the close one or the one by the
Yeah,
red lake?
probably.
Well, which one? The water treatment control one or the red lakes?
Oh. Oh, yeah, true. Let's do the red lake. It's less in the center of everything.
There should be a way out here. And there's people
There's not
shooting.
a...
over there.
Oh, okay.
I heard people shooting.
Wait, which one are we going to? Am I going
Over there? Which way? Which way were you going?
Where's everybody? I'm trying to see where the fight's at.
I think down there. I don't have my
Are we going to the
binoculars.
Red Lake balcony or the other one? Water treatment.
That's right. I figured we could do to the Red Lakes, but if there's fighting, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, that's where the fighting's at right now.
Yeah, but the other one's full of water. Or that's in the middle.
I'm shooting an arc.
The water treatment.
Play one tap. I'm better.
Yeah, I'll choose.
Let's go water treatment. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm just looting a turret I broke earlier.
I got the worst gun. I got the rattler, so I can't really help much.
I think their flares are going off. Oh, I need to kill those for knowledge.
See, I knew that you could grab on zip lines. I wasn't sure about ladders, though, Arya.
They take so long to kill, though.
No, they don't.
No, the surveillance one.
Whatever, we can leave it. I'm not that desperate.
Yeah, I got good shit, so I'm like, I don't want to lose it.
Sorry, Ducky. I have to leave you behind.
I'm gonna press the button. Won't
Sounds
go in
good.
immediately, though.
I mean, it doesn't open all the way, so.
No.
Air freshener here in case one of these stinks.
I'm gonna dive over here.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh my god, who said?
What's that?
Who said that?
I'm looking for...
You're looking for what?
Does anyone know where I can find
Press the button.
Man, you guys hear that weirdo over there talking?
Daddy. Yeah, I heard that. Wait, is this a glitch? Why can't I see through the smoke?
Cheating. Someone ban him.
I was able to see through the smoke, like, clearly. Good raid, guys. We killed so many people.
I actually got so much good stuff out of that, though.
Yeah, my whole inventory is blue.
After we got absolutely slam dunked our past few games, they gave us a pity raid.
Oh.
Yeah, we spawned right next to the high one. How did I enjoy the enemies? AI? It was really good. They just sat there and let me shoot them. Wait, you said a custom skin you guys bought?
What?
You guys have a custom skin?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
She
A
copied
custom
them,
skin?
Oh. I thought it was a normal one.
You copied me.
Oh, explosive station. Actually, I want medical light instead. I don't need explosion right now. Actually, dang it, I should have bought explosion. Now we need more arc alloy.
Let's see, workshop. I think you're the one that needs Rocketeer.
How do I do in-round crafting? Is there a button or is it
You
automatic?
it's a skill. Did you enable it?
Yeah, I'm saying how do I do
So
it?
it's when you're in game, you just press escape and there's a tab at
There's
the
a button?
top just says
Okay.
crafting.
Sounds good. I could have sworn I grabbed one more wire. Did it not? Do I have to bring it inside? Is that what it is? Because I thought I picked it up. I thought it was done.
I don't know.
How many more you want? One more?
We're almost at
So
3
let's-
hours, so like 1 or 2
Yeah,
more.
one more.
Yes.
All right, let's
One
win.
more. Yeah, I need one Rocketeer driver. Damn. My inventory is full, so let me try to clear
Yeah,
out
no,
some
no
space.
rush. I need to deal 33 more damage to enemies or raiders.
Lots of wires. Is the hairpin good?
The gun?
Yeah.
No.
No?
It is, so you fire one shot and then you have to rack the slide again, and it only uses light ammo.
That sounds
I'll
pretty
just,
good to me.
sell it. Kettle, not the biggest fan of the kettle. What if I recycle this?
I saw a meme of like something recycling a green item, and then they were crying it afterwards.
Why?
Because they were like, surely if I recycle this, it'll be fine. And then it was like sadness. I don't know if
Me when I
it's
recycle
important.
the green item of infinite sadness.
Well, I think it's like a good one, but they recycled all of it, and then they probably like needed it for something.
Oh, like they meant to dismantle one, but accidentally did like the entire stack.
No, I don't remember the context because it was like when the game first came out.
Yeah, okay.
But it was just like it's an item that's important apparently. Oh, arc alloys. think that's what it was.
Oh, yeah. You do need a decent chunk of arc alloy.
Yeah, or they sold it and then they're like, it's fine, I have a lot of them. And then it's like for everything you need now. That's what it was. It's pretty good. I didn't understand it because I never played the game.
Oh, finally, I declared out. Only to be filled after this run again too. Okay, last run. We got this.
Nice run. Time was quick. You believe we're already level 50?
Damn, Doc
my God,
Martens
whenever I look at
having
your
their Black
character, I just-
Friday sale.
They're 20% off sale.
I don't know. There's some things that they're like $88 off. Almost 100.
Wait, that's
bucks,
huge.
50.
Never mind.
I know. This one's $60 off, bro. 70. I'm looking at their online store
Christmas
right
shopping
now.
for myself.
Yeah.
Like a regular, you know, the regular Doc Marten boot is like 130 usually. Now it's $78 right now.
That's pretty good.
Bro, that's pretty good. I want, but I just got my own boat recently, a couple months ago.
This is so loud.
So yeah, if you press escape, there's a crafting menu, and then it shows what you can craft. The main thing is crafting the shield rechargers and the bandages on field.
What do you need those to craft those?
I mean,
Power cell?
usually should tell you power cell and rubber parts. The thing is, you can recycle things on field too.
Oh, how do we get rubber parts?
It yields a lower amount than what you would get like outside, but it's like if you're
that makes sense.
If your inventory is pretty full anyways, you know, might as well just recycle it. And
do I only have one loadout in this free loadout? I got another Pharaoh. I haven't gotten any other gun.
yeah, you're just betting and getting lucky. You want to have the Rattler? The Rattler sucks ass.
Hell no. Keeping the
See?
sniper.
Then don't complain about having the Pharaoh.
Yeah, no, I wasn't complaining. I was saying they're pranking me.
It's not
I
a
got it
prank.
like 6 times
It's a
already.
buff. It's a
The
buff.
Pharaoh buff. Well, I didn't know how to use it the first time because I had it on the first day. Where you want to go? The testing's on the right. There a drone above me? Yeah. It's metal parts, chemicals.
The fuck was that?
You don't need these? Where are we going?
I don't know.
You're the leader.
Let's see. We can go to the testing annex.
Sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. I can't get a kill with one mag of the Rattler. I need a...
Yeah, you need the extended mag. Actually, even with the
Oh,
extended
I ain't gonna
ones.
get an extended mag on a free loadout.
Yeah.
I have to find it.
By the testing annex. Snitch.
You gotta go. Multiple snitches in the air.
Oh, there's already people in here.
You wanna fight them?
Oh, never mind the door. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, they could have just closed it. I usually close it. Keep your toes up.
Do we have the damn testing annex key?
No. That door's open.
Oh, is that us?
That's why is there? There's a pharaoh here.
Yeah, it's a narco shooting.
Oh.
There was something looted here, like a container was already searched, so someone's been here.
I thought that can just be normal.
Yeah,
You didn't take the cat bed, Jam?
The what?
You should take the cat bed. You need it for an upgrade later on. I put it on the ground.
Oh, I was out of inventory, bro. I was trying to take it. Yeah, my inventory's full.
Should I just pick up one?
Bro. Yeah, my inventory's full.
I've been salvaging some stuff here and there, honestly.
You fighting someone? Y'all shooting?
Yeah, I popped her in the face. Oh, this is where we started. Man, this place sucks.
I mean, this
It's
place was
only
looted
medium,
already,
yeah.
relatively.
Do you want to head out? Things right there below us.
Oh. Was that you?
Yeah, I'm shooting drones.
Just getting
Okay,
in
I'm
your
going,
position.
I want to kiss you back up, dog.
Where the drones at? Let me know you shoot them too.
Make this.
I shot the leaf. Are you kidding me?
I made it.
That's almost harder than shooting the actual drone. Got it. You think I could survive this?
Celeste, can you revive us?
Why were you're that down?
Not yet.
Give
If
me
you
one
time
second.
your roll, wait, go to the other window, bro. I timed my roll.
How do
and
I
made,
roll?
oh, there's a team right there.
Like that.
Guys, there's a team there. Can I get some support, please?
Oh, we're low on health. There's a drone
We
there
just threw
too.
ourselves out of a window, but run away.
I'm asking help from two guys that just jumped off the building. Where are they?
The guy had spotted, the drone had spotted them. I have no clue where they are. But there's a scanner. Hi, Miss Wanna Die, welcome in!
I think the drone's still spawning. The drone's coming this way. Or we can leave. Just run. Maybe we should have pressed the button before we left. Thoughts?
It's fine. Thanks for your daily star, Miss Wanna Die, by the way.
Wait.
The other one we destroyed.
Oh, see? They shot from down there.
I'm putting a barricade.
Medium ammo. Over here.
We are surrounded though. I see them. Are we shooting?
Can't see
We
shit.
can chill for now.
Well, they might get closer. And I don't like that.
I didn't see where we're looking.
They're close. They're over there where Celeste was. Press a button.
Are you collecting your barrier again?
No. I don't care about it. I can find more barriers.
It's money.
I'd rather escape. I'd rather escape. They were looking at us. I would have picked it up and then double headshotted by a sniper.
Hey, that was pretty successful.
Yeah.
That was pretty successful.
Got $17 million.
I got a rock.
That's pretty good. I got 10 creds for dealing 10,000 damage. And I still didn't pick up one wire. I forgot again.
Okay, that is it for me though. Are y'all still playing? Or
No,
streaming?
we were gonna end it too.
Okay.
Do we want to quadruple raid someone?
Yeah. Let's see who's live.
Yeah, look who's live and send us the name.
Anybody's y'all's friend list playing Arc Raiders? Oh my god, I know somebody! Jan Jowl!
Oh my god, Celeste Mo Celery.
I see a VTuber playing Arc Raiders.
Oh, I could raid this person doing a birthday stream, but they're sleeping. Hey, Eepin.
Oh, that's me! I can see myself! Oh my god!
Wait, where'd my water go?
Wait, there's an alien?
Alien?
Wait, look at this person's. They're in the VTuber category. Wait, I'm sending it in the chat.
Thank you, Celeste Vega VT. Follow.
That's funny. I don't know.
I see them. Is that their actual face? They're like a peanut, dude.
Yeah. Oh no, that's the peanut dude's another guy, I think.
No, but did you see him on his stream?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, his
on
body.
his
Yeah,
face.
it's just a filter.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I need to do ASMR with that filter on.
And then the filter breaks.
Oops. I'm gonna edit the bot.
So who are we rating?
I don't know, do you guys have anybody? I wasn't looking. Well, I have one, but I don't know if they're there.
Then this is somebody that's there.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking up another one. Is she there? Thank you for the Sonic. Baby. You don't got any arc raiders? Well, special.
I mean, there's one person that I'm following that is live right now, but they're playing Arc, but I've already rated them recently, so we can rate somebody else.
Yeah, I don't have anyone on right now.
This is an Arc. You're right. This isn't the
live
Darnosaur.
channels. Wait, am I following this person? No, I'm not. Why am I recommended this person then? That's weird.
Well, I'm good with anyone.
Somebody.
Guys, choose somebody.
Nope. Jan, you choose somebody.
Oh, give me a second. You guys ever played Path of Exile?
We're waiting to PoE?
That's what I'm asking. PoE?
No, that's right to Arc Raiders. We're playing Arc Raiders.
Alright, fine. Let me hit this person. Yo, PvE mode for this game without enemies? That would be actually kind of fire. Alright, it's this person.
But you were gonna raid Enki?
Maybe. Alright, there's who's the rating, guys. A rating to
Okay,
Keats
slash
rating.
raid. Hi guys, thanks
I
for
don't
the
know them, but they're
stream,
playing Arc Raiders, guys.
They're playing Arc Raiders!
What's up, Shadowy? How you doing?
Good night, everybody.
Oh my
We'll
god.
see you for Taco Tuesday.
For the people that are still listening for everybody else.
Yeah, we're playing Helldivers 2 tomorrow, guys. We'll check it out.
What? We are, I don't know about
Yep.
that one, Chief. Bye-bye.
Yep. Yep, so let's set it. Oh. Alright. Bye-bye, everybody. Cheese raid. Where's my cheese? Sneaky cheese. There we go. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining.